Morning, lovely viewer. Well, this is it, the full rose garden tour today. First flush, I'm calling it, and I have to say I've come out this morning and the fragrance that I'm getting now in these roses, it really is insane. Even driving past, when I drive onto my driveway now, I just get this strong fragrance. This is Rose Boscobel. For those of you who haven't been to my channel before, the sun, it rises over there and it comes over the top. So all this bed here gets full morning sun, and probably into the afternoon now. This is Madame Anisette. This is a baby, only its second year in the ground, but that's coming on well. And you can see its buds there, but look at that. Look at that. And these roses here, most of them are 4 years old now, or 5 years old. There's a couple of younger ones like the one you've just seen, but look at that. Look at that. We had a cyclist go past the other day, going downhill, and he stopped. Oh, gorgeous. He stopped. And cyclists don't normally stop, particularly when they're going downhill, but look at that. A fantastic display. You've seen Olivia already. Olivia Rose Austin. Look at that. It is early morning. There is still dew on the ground. But look at this display of this bed in particular. We've got a Desdemona here. This is a baby one. Again, only its Desdemona, only its second year in the ground. And this here is Queen of Sweden. Look at that. Now, Queen of Sweden, I did prune shorter this year. I pruned it shorter last year, and it done fantastically well. And this year you get greedy, don't you? This year I went a little bit lower again. And I think I've gone too low, because Queen of Sweden, you do like to look down on these flowers. Magnificent flower, long lasting for a David Austin rose. It's a very upright flower, and I do like to look down on them, but I think this year I've just gone a bit too low. Let's come back so you get to see this bed here. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, and look, we've got a hot air balloon there, and we have a sea of fog there. That is just beautiful. That really is beautiful. And I'm so happy with Olivia Rose Austin this year. She really is looking absolutely gorgeous. In fact, I'm going to go for a sniff today. I'm just getting a very light fragrance from Olivia, but it is early. But look at that. Flowers all the way to the bottom, but that is gorgeous. But now we're going to come round carefully. It's that time of year. We all wait for this time of year, don't we? And we've got just one flower from Gabriel Oak at the moment. That's been open for a few days already. It's not the finest example of Gabriel Oak, but again, this is a bed, it gets full morning sun, and look how close it is. Look how close it is to the hawthorn and the ivy here. But these roses are doing very, very well. Just a gazillion buds, but we've finally, it's been a bit delayed this year, we've finally got some flowers from Eustacia Vi. Look at that. This is my first sniff of the year of Eustacia Vi. Look at that. And again, these are 4 years old now. There's still more to come of Eustacia Vi. You can see here just bud galore. But we're going to find another one that's in flower. That one there looks nice. Look at that. Eustacia Vi. Absolutely gorgeous there, look. fantastic. Really, really pleased. And that is going to look an awful lot better, I think, in just a few more days. But it's getting the timing. It's getting the timing right of these roses. Now we're going to come, I think we're going to do here. Now this here is Rose Elizabeth. This didn't do so well for me last year. It's potted, and I can see again this year it's not going to do fantastically well potted. I'll be honest, my potted roses, they haven't done so well this year. And again, I'll be honest, I didn't scoop away the top 3 or 4 inches of soil. I just put a layer of mulch on top, and I do believe that even though they've been fed, some of my potted roses aren't doing so well this year. Now these roses here are the ones that are going to the allotment, but we've got some in flower here. We've got Mum in a Million just there, and that is a rose that is super fragrant. This bed, it did get hit with the rabbits. You can see the new growth that's coming through after these roses got hit, but look at that. Look at the size of that. Mum in a Million. Mum in a Million. Absolutely gorgeous. And here, I'm going to show you Eden Rose. Now this is a climbing rose. It's meant to be in the ground, it's meant to be climbing, but I'm growing this potted as a shrub, and that is absolutely gorgeous. It's one of my favourite flowers, Eden Rose. The flowers last an eternity, and you have to remember, if you're following my channel, we have had awful winds and rain this past week. Look at that, Eden Rose. There are some fantastic examples of this climbing on the internet, but I just couldn't get rid of this rose, and unfortunately I haven't got the wall space for it. But this rose here is Penelope Lively. There's just one flower there that's come out so far, but you can see these, and that's completely unsupported. That stick's not doing anything. I used that last year. Look at that. There's a lot of I think Penelope Lively is one of those roses you've got to hit back quite hard. I believe that pot is going as well. That's a rose. I'm just putting that there for the time being. That rose is going to the allotment. I just wanted it in sun. But this here's a baby rose. Most of these roses here are babies, but this is its 2nd year in the ground, and this is Ancient Mariner, and this is a gorgeous rose with a gorgeous flower. Oh, even this morning with dew on the ground, that is gorgeous. Nice big flowers as well. Look at that, almost like a love heart. There you go, that's for someone out there. Look at that. That is my gift to someone out there. Beautiful. Look. It's the first I've seen of that. Absolutely gorgeous, and a gorgeous fragrance. Look at that. Ancient Mariner. Now, a few people have asked me about Rose Wedding Piano, and you can see here that's budding up fantastically well, but the buds here, they do take some time to come through. But this is another rose that done fantastically well for me last year. Only its 2nd year in the ground, I believe, but that one is doing very well. Now let's come across this way. Oh, look at that, what a fantastic view. We are very lucky here. You see, he's going over the Weald of Kent. Beautiful, beautiful. Excuse the bins. Now let's have a look at this corner here. Now let's start down here. This is a baby. It was only planted this year. This is Rosemary Harkness, and look at that. Now, yellow roses, or these amber roses, they never actually do anything for me when I see them online on my computer screen or phone screen. But this yellow, amber, orange, these roses, more pastel-y sort of colours, they really do, you need to see them in person. This is Rose Dolce Vita. Again, it's a young rose that I've recently planted. And it's a rose that likes to flower, very long-lasting flowers as well, that hold up better than average in the wet weather. But these orangey, ambery sort of colours, you've got to see them. Forget your phone screens. I said before, you know, if you'd have said to me a couple of years ago, an orange sort of flower, this is Rose Lady of Shalott. Look at that. Absolutely gorgeous. I think this is its 3rd year, is it? Or possibly 4th year. Yeah, it must be its fourth year. I think this summer is its 4th summer. Now this one here, it is, let's stand back from it so you get a look at it. It is in a pot, but that pot is baseless. It is baseless, so its roots are free to go down into the ground. And the rose over the back there, that is Rose Laguna. Now sadly this bed, it did take an awful hit in these strong winds, and there were a couple of the stems that were up here, or in fact there was one stem and it's collapsed down, unfortunately, leaving these roses down here, these flowers. But this rose, it does grow into a beast, and it's not that old. I think this is its 3rd year, is it, in the ground, and it's budded up fantastically well. Rose Laguna. It's a rose certainly that likes to flower. Now let's come back here. Now this here, oh in fact let's do this one very quickly before I forget. This here is Rose Princess de Monaco, and that is a flower that's just opened, and I haven't smelt it as yet. I promise you that. This is a rose, they say the flower gets very big and it's very fragrant, and I'm going to go in for the sniff test. Oh, I'm getting a sort of light fragrance from it, but it's very early, and my nose where it touched that flower is wet, so that doesn't help. But that said, I come out this morning and the fragrance just hit me, and I saw that sea of fog, and I thought, you know what, today's the day. This is Rose Courage, and this is only its 2nd year in the ground, and this is growing bigger. This is growing bigger than I expected. There's going to be 8 of those bells, I believe. Sorry about that. It's certainly growing bigger than I anticipated. There's one over there. I've got to show you this. Look at that there. Rose Courage. Yeah, I saw this at Kordes, and they didn't look that big, but this one here for me, it really has grown big. It's a hybrid tea, and it's got more to come from Rose Courage. This here, you know this rose if you follow my channel. This is Rose Elizabeth, and it's just packed with buds. But unfortunately, there's there is, in fact there's one here. Let's have a look here. Oh, that's just gone over. That's not a great example. There's a set of stems over here. Oh, there's one just starting to open there. Let's have a smell of this one. Oh wow, powerful scent. Now, when I first got this rose, I said many times there, I didn't get much scent from it. Most of the time, I just didn't get scent. Now, I think it's got to be 3 or 4 years old now. Powerful fragrance most of the time. It's funny how things change, but I can only bring you the information as I see it. But yeah, that was a very powerful fragrance. Now this here is Rose Chippendale. It's a flower that lasts 2 weeks. I'm going to call 2 weeks. Look at that. And then as they age, they flower, they lighten, Look at that, Rose Chippendale. A light fragrance, but very long-lasting flowers. And now I'm going to bring you to this rose here. This is a rose from Tantal. It's Deep Secret 2023, and this was a gift from Dilly. It's a hybrid tea. It's a little more purple than the original Deep Secret, but you can see it's doing well. It is doing well, and we've got 3 basil breaks down here, strong basil breaks that are coming up. I need to do some weeding. But Deep Secret 2023. Now this rose here, Jasmina, I've been waiting for this rose to come out. It's in a baseless pot again, and there are some flowers that are coming out, but it's one of these roses, a climbing rose. There's a gazillion buds, and I know, wow, super fragrant. They say apple, and I get that. It is an apple scent, definitely, but for my nose at least, it's very powerful. It's a very healthy rose, and this rose is starting to, it really is starting to take off. It's got a gazillion buds, and this will be in flower for some time, and I will smell this rose from a long way away. Its fragrance, it does like to transit, it does like to radiate. Now this here is the rose, the poet's wife. I've got it potted for the time being, but this is going to go, I think, into a more shaded spot. It was taking up some prime real estate, but a fantastic rose. Oh, that's fragrant as well, really fragrant. But it took the move okay, and that's doing all right. But let's come back here. Let me come back here and show you this. Look at that, that just looks fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Now, Amadeus, the rose up here, the red rose, I don't know if you're going to see it, but there's just so many buds on there, just waiting to come through. And this rose, it will be in flower. It will be in flower until September, or at least going from last year. The flowers, they last sort of 2 weeks plus, and with so many buds, yeah, it flowered continually all of the summer for the last 2 years, and I'm hoping for the same this year. Now, this rose here is Rose Leonardo da Vinci, and it has got, I'm speechless. It really has got the most divine flowers, long lasting. Again, I think it's, my memory is not great. I think it's over a week. I hear it does well in the shade, and you see it's climbing here. I've got a stem going. I think this is the first year that I've had it climbing. That is in a baseless pot. Its roots are free to go in the soil. I've got comfrey growing everywhere at the moment, and I don't mind that because the bees, they love it, and it's very good. In fact, let me film this. It is a weed, I guess, but it is fantastic for fertilizer and comfrey tea. Let's have a look at this. Absolutely gorgeous Rose Leonardo da Vinci. Here we've got a flower. It's Indian Summer, and that is doing well. And let's go up here, show you a rose from Amadeus up close. Focus. Non-fragrant, but absolutely beautiful. It's a striking red. You could pour, and I have emptied an entire watering can over one of these flowers and it just batters the water off. Very, very rain tolerant. There's a flower from Woollerton Old Hall here, just starting to open. Let's have a smell. Yeah, it's fragrant. It's fragrant. It makes me smile. And here we've got Arthur Bell growing here, and with a Gertrude in the background over there. And I'm so pleased with this Gertrude. Not so pleased with this winter jasmine, but the birds, they nest in here, so we can't touch it. We can't touch it too much, sadly. But the manner in which this Gertrude it grows underneath the window here, very fragrant rose. It's not the healthiest, this one. We'll see another one in the back garden. But look at that, Gertrude. And it's actually beyond its best, but it's a case of timing. It really is a case of timing with this first flush video. And here we've got Rose Soul that is potted. I'm not sure where that's going to go at the moment, but I'm trying it there just for the moment. These potted roses, I will often put them in a pot this size with the intention of planting them in the ground if they do well, but it kind of never works out that way. If they do well, I will often go and buy another one. This here, I've filmed it recently. It's predominantly the perfumer collection here. We've got most of the perfumer collection here. Let's get that in focus. And I'm still waiting on those. But this rose here, let's have a look at this one, in fact, because you saw this rose. It's still there, look. It's Princess Alexandra of Kent. Huge, huge flowers. Look at that. Oh, it's fragrant as well. You can literally smell it everywhere. Beautiful, and it's only its second year in the ground. But let's go out the back. Let's get it in focus. Look at this here. I mean, that is just beautiful there. Oh, that's as much as it will zoom in. You can't see it. You see the treetops just sticking out. The treetops just sticking out the top of the fog there. It doesn't come out too well, but I know that is what that hot air balloon has come to see, and we've got it on our doorstep. We are very, very fortunate indeed. Now, let's do this. I don't like to cut my videos up. I know I should do, but it's a walk around of my garden, and I want you to join me. This is Paul's Himalayan musk. It's a rose that is going. It's not the healthiest of roses. Looks fantastic at this time of year, but unfortunately it sheds all of these leaves that go all over my garden and spread. But that is, and I really cut it back by over half, but that is not looking bad at the moment at all. But it's only about 20% in a week or two. It's going to look an awful lot better. Now, where should we go? Let's start off over here. I think this is the rose. You saw this yesterday. Sorry, was it yesterday? A couple of days ago when I've done the unboxing. Look at that there. I'm gonna have a smell again. Yes, fragrant. Even this morning. Look at that. Beautiful. Now this rose here, I'm not going to forget this rose. It's a rose that often gets forgotten, and it's Rose James Galway. And it's actually past its best, believe it or not. There's still more to come from James Galway. Look at that. It's like a short climber, but it's strong. It is certainly strong this year, and considering it's past its best. Dilly, this is another one that's that's from yourself. This is Champagne Moment, Lion's Fairy Tale, I believe, grown as a standard tree. No, I'm not getting any scent from it, but a fantastic rose, healthy. It's a rose that the one at my mum's is just full of buds. It is absolutely full of buds. This one's potted, obviously. But there's a rose that's... And the flowers are not short-lived. They really aren't. But my mum's is doing absolutely fantastic, packed with buds. Now let's come over here. In fact, let me show you some of this, because this is some of Donna's work here. Well, I say Donna's work. I buy a lot of these plants for the garden beds, and Donna, she, in her wisdom, I mean, that one there was another one that I bought. That lily there, I bought them for the beds, but she pots them. That is what she does. But let's look at this one here, Gertrude, grown as a shrub, and this one always healthy, always healthy, and obviously fragrant. Look at that. We've got hot lips there. This is a wallflower. Oh, in fact, we've got a peony here as well. We had it potted for a couple of years, but now it's just coming. It's just starting to flower now. We've got 3 potted. It didn't seem to like it. But look at that. Look at that now. Rose Westerland. This has done fantastic this year. Let's see if we can get one of the flowers. Again, it's one of those amber roses. Oh, it's fragrant as well. For my eye, at least, it never looks so good on the internet. But it's a rose. These yellow, amber, or pastel sort of colours, they might not look so well online, but seeing them up close, and there's still a load to come from Rose Westerland. There really is. And this is a rose, it did get battered in the wind. It's in a baseless pot here, so its roots are free to go to the ground, go into the soil. But look at that, that's how the roses first start. And this rose, it did take a battering in the wind. But let me show you this here, Rose Pompanella, another Kordes rose. And I'm not going to be able to focus in, I don't think, on all of the buds. Let me try at least. But yeah, we're talking a gazillion buds, and this is only its 3rd year, I believe. I think this is its 3rd year, and it took off last year, and this year it's taken off again. It's going to need some support, but this is a rose, long-lasting flowers, and that is what they look like. For me, at least, they do well in the wet weather as well. Not rain tolerant, but long-lasting flowers in my garden. And there is just so many buds on this rose. It's a rose that it just multiplies. It just multiplies and multiplies. This here is Rose Utison, not doing as well as previous years, but I think, you see this here, it's not black spot. I don't know what that is. I think that may have been the foliar feed that I put on it. I know Dilly mentioned it. in one of her videos with this rose. Can you see this? Some roses I just don't think like the foliar feed, and this rose, it hasn't budded up as well as previous years. But again, I didn't remove the top few inches of soil, but this is a rose that normally you will see gazillion buds, but this year just not quite so much. The daisies, these all, I mean, look, you can see where they've started to fall down. That is sadly as a result of the wind. Let's see if I can find a nice earth angel. Yep, there we go. Ralph, this is just for you. He does like a cabbage style flower. Let's get that focused in there. You just make out the pink in the middle, and the actual flower is darker pink than that to the naked eye. Earth angel. Beautiful. I'm gonna have a see if there's any fragrance. Just a light fragrance for me today. Rose Earth Angel. Now let's come over here. Right, look at that. Another. This is Rose Brother Cadfall. Ralph, it's another one for you. Oh, it's fragrant as well. Beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Look at that. Look at that, Brother Cadfall. This, I think it's its third or possibly fourth summer, and that's growing well. It's growing strong. I'm hoping I get a longer duration out of these flowers this year. Last year I was, oh, that's really fragrant. My face is wet, but that was still fragrant. Look at that. Look at that. Here we've got another rosemary heartless, and this is sending out the basil breaks as well. A young rose, but it's really starting to take off this year. Second year in the ground. Look at that. Again, it's this amber. I don't know what you think of that on your phone screen. Perhaps I wouldn't think much, but it's a rose, you have to see it in your garden. You really do. Now this here is a Bliss perfumer, and I'm going to have a smell of this. Oh, fragrant. Oh yes. Look at the depth of that. Again, this is its second year in the ground, and it's actually growing bigger. You see the basil breaks coming through here, and there's more coming up from down below. Let's see what this one's like. Look at that. Bliss perfumer, one of my favourite roses. I have several favourites, of course, but this is definitely one of my favourites. Gorgeous. They say it's light scent, but I think it's fantastic. Now, this here is an Ethelberger, and this is growing beast this year. It really is. It sent up a number of basil breaks. Fragrant. Look. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. That one's just going over. But look at all of these flowers. It's just growing beast. It really is. Look, all the way up here. All the way up here. It really is. It's growing big. I'm worried that I thought Bliss was quite small, but you can see it's getting some size to it now. Look at that, Princess Alexandra of Kent. Again, potted, only a young one, but it's doing well this year. Right, I'm going to show you this very quickly. It's a potted Edam rose, but you see the moles. The moles have got it. It's in a baseless pot. The moles have got it. I have to be very careful of what I plant on this back fence. I might have to put some mole netting down. Oh, look at this here. Look at that there. This is Summer Romance. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, absolutely gorgeous. Fragrant, of course. Of my potted roses, these ones haven't done so bad at all. This is Audrey Wilcox. The flower's just gone a little bit over. It's another one. Oh, that's fragrant. Look at that. Hybrid tea. Fantastic. Yeah, many of my potted roses, they haven't done well this year. I don't think they've had the care. Oh, that one's just going over. But even then, look at that. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Right. And this one here is Desdemona. Look at that. Look at that there. Desdemona. Of course it's going to be fragrant. Yeah. Potted, not old. I think this is its second year as well. But that is doing well. Right, what one am I going to leave you with? In fact, I'm going to leave you. It has to be this amber, orangey colour that I think looks so well in the garden. So I'm going to leave you, lovely viewer, with this rose here. Look at that, divine. Right, lovely viewer, I hope you have a lovely day.